Those people that work at the banks don't even know why they do this. It's almost like the mafia giving you money. And guess what? They come back and they tell you, oh, because you didn't pay on time, now you owe me this much. And if you don't pay, I'm going to break your leg. The same thing the bank is doing. If you don't pay that higher mortgage, they're going to take your house. Welcome back to my channel. This is The Right Property, where I bring you information before deals. My name is Yemi. Today, I'm going to start with a short story, all right? I'm banned from going camping with my family because apart from the fact that every time I show up, it seems to rain, so I can only go like for one day, get out the next. Yeah, it rains all the time. I don't know. Even if they're not calling for rain, I show up, it rains. But the real reason is because there was a time I was there and this toad or frog was very close to the fire. You know, there's a fire pit, and I tried to save it, and the thing leaped into the fire by itself. Yeah, fried itself like in seconds. And apparently that was my fault, but that story is leading us into the problem we have as Canadians. The banks, yes, the banks, maybe in collusion with the government, the banks are boiling us like frogs. Every year, about 1.5 million Canadians, they're taken through the renewal process. So 40 million population, you take 1.5 million and put them through an unnecessary process so that you get more money from them. At the rate at which this is going, Generation Z, millennials, Generation Y, whatever they call, they're going to be no way for these kids to get a house in future. In fact, it's already hard right now for even Generation X to get in, which I'm one of them, right? It's hard for my generation to buy a house. Not only are you not secured after buying a house, because in 5 years, 3 years, depending what your term is during your amortization, depending what your term is, you can actually lose that house. Renewal is causing foreclosures. It's causing a whole bunch of unnecessary sales. You know, someone finds out, oh, I can't pay whatever my mortgage is going up to, and they have to sell quickly before the house is taken from them. But then they tell you, oh, there's an advantage to renewal. You can pay off your mortgage without any penalties. Guess what? How many people's got the money to pay it off? And if you try to pay anything off before your term, they don't apply it. You give them $100,000, $200,000 before your term, they do not apply to your mortgage. You keep paying whatever your monthly is on your due date for your term, then they minus it from your total balance. So what's that money doing in the bank's account until the term? They're using it for business. So you give a bank $100,000, take this out of my mortgage. So my mortgage is now $200,000. No. Your mortgage is still going to remain $300,000 until the last day of your term. Maybe it's a 2-year term or 5-year term or 3-year term. Until the last day before they minus it from your balance. So in a way, they penalize you for trying to pay it early. Then they penalize you for not paying, as in foreclosure or whatever they want to do. Usually it leads to higher interest rate. There's a few people, maybe out of the 1.5, maybe 300,000 gets a reduced mortgage. Everybody else goes out because you're not all coming from the same level. Some are coming from 4% down to 3. Some are going from 2% going up to 3. they end up with more money every time. It's all a disadvantage for the homeowner, all advantage for the banks. And this process is so unnecessary because those people that work at the banks don't even know why they do this. Yes, because it's not done in the US, it's only done in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. And all these countries have big four banks. Yeah, four major banks in all the countries. You can Google it. All these countries I mentioned have four major banks, and they just ring the people through. The US, I guess the population is saving them. They have so many banks out there. You can jump from one bank to another. You just renew and you're good. Whatever you lock in at the beginning of your borrowing experience is whatever you pay till the end. It's not like that in Canada. And it's really, really a big disadvantage for home buyers, especially those that go into bidding wars, multiple offers. You want to win this, and then you get it at a low interest. And now interest has increased, and you still have such a huge mortgage left to pay. There is no advantage here for anybody except the banks. It's almost like the mafia giving you money, and guess what? They come back and they tell you, oh, because you didn't pay on time, now you owe me this much, and if you don't pay, I'm gonna break your leg. The same thing the bank is doing. If you don't pay that higher mortgage, they're gonna take your house. Exactly the same thing, but one is so illegal and one is so legal. So maybe we need a government intervention. You can make the banks do the right thing, but then I guess maybe they stop sponsoring you. We need a honest politician to get in here and mix things up. Approve more banks. Let there be competition. Okay? The more competition, the better for the people. You can do that. Or maybe Canadians take a referendum and vote to either join the US or remain as Canada. How about that? Trump already proposed it. We all take a vote. Guess what the losers are going to be? It's going to be our telecommunications, which is run by two major people. And it's going to be our banks, which is run by four major banks. It's going to be a whole bunch of people squeezing Canadians out of money. Because once we join the US, there's like a big competition and prices will drop across the board. So this is a Canadian, not Canadian only, but this is a Canadian problem. It's renewal. And renewal is very, very unnecessary. The money you're giving us at the beginning of our mortgage is still the same money at the end of our mortgage. There's no need for you to increase interest rate in between. There's nothing you're servicing. So maybe more people, or maybe Elon Musk, can say something about this on Twitter and wake up a whole bunch of people, just like he's doing with the UK right now. But please, let's look into this renewal process. It's very unnecessary and it's keeping a lot of people out of the real estate market. If you have any comment, please drop. If you think I'm wrong about this issue, please drop a comment as well. If there's another topic you'd like me to cover, drop a comment. And please subscribe if you're enjoying this channel, because all I want to do is see you at the top.